Okie dokie, I've got to see if I'm on here. Right, I'm live now, so
You're live.
I'm live on my pages. Yay! Hello, everybody. I'm not sure if anybody's there yet. I'm just going to check out on my Facebook just to make sure that we're going live, which would probably be a good idea, wouldn't it? Because I can't see anybody yet. So if you're there, say hello. Say a quick hello. Check in with me. Let me know how today is going for you. Let's see if it's going live yet on my page. I think it could be. Oh, yes, and we are live there, which is fantastic. So we've got Belinda Comer that's here. Hello, Belinda. Or is it Corner? Comer it is. And we've got Nicole as well. Hello, lovely lady, to you as well. Ruth Townsend is in the house. You going to say a quick hello to everybody?
Hello to everybody. How are you all?
Oh, John, yes, you are live. Thank you very much, John. I'm waiting for the wonderful Claire Petulengro to join me. She's live on our page at the moment, and she's guesting on this live, just to get her back into it. Caroline McCulloch, hello as well. Gabrielle and Brittany Fallon as well. Hello, both of you. Brittany, is that... Oh, Julie's daughter, Brittany. I'm not too sure, but it's just the last name Fallon that I saw there. I suddenly thought, I've heard that name before. Charlotte Tidswell, Gillian Watson, and my gorgeous friend, Kirsty Henderson in Spain. She's there as well. Roxy as well. Megan Sheldon. Megan, how are you? Are you able to get out and about and do the wonderful work that you do normally? Megan was in caring, I think, before. Yeah, Angela Hewitt as well. So how are we all today? Yep, hi Kirsty, you can't really see. I'll put the thing up a little bit more so that we can see. You're not wearing your hat. You're not wearing the hat. If you want to join us, you're very, very welcome. So yeah, you're getting, we're getting the jacket off. I mean business. Are you bringing a chair in or are you leaving? You're going to come and join me in a minute. Right, okay then. He's a bit peckish. I've just had, you went to the shops, right? So we usually have one turn a week to go to the shop. So it was Ben's turn this morning and he went to the shop.
I've only been once this week.
That's your ones, right? We're recording it just so everybody else knows as well. And I said, I want a surprise. And he brought me back a lovely bunch of flowers back there as well. And a crunchy ice lolly. So what's a girl got to do? Right? But it's the bits in the middle. It reminded me, does anybody remember, the crackling pop stuff that you used to put in your mouth, right? And then we would have like lollipops, I think, to dip in it as well. Hello, Teresa. How are you doing? And you're on the 21 day intuitive challenge. How are you getting on with that? Yeah. Oh, you got a promotion, Megan. That's very well done. Just to let everybody know, she is still in Kerry and she got the promotion that I saw. Thank you so much. I actually didn't see the last bit. I only saw the promotion bit. Claire hasn't clicked on the link, so she's not in the house yet. But we're building the vibe in here, aren't we, everybody? We're building the vibe. We are just, yeah, Britt's my daughter. Hello, Julie. She is your daughter. Well, fancy that. It's good to finally meet her. If she's been on the broadcast before, I really, really apologise, Julie, but it's good to see you both here. Now my mind's gone into, are you in the same house or are you in completely different houses? Your internet stream quality is much better on this room. It's the same room, actually, John, but I'm only broadcasting to my Facebook page, Lara Wells Live, and also my YouTube one, rather than doing all the Facebook pages. I thought I would just focus on this one here. So I'm glad that it's actually, we're getting a better stream. John, if you want to join us, you're very, very welcome, by the way. Let me know. You're probably sitting there, your hair's now gone into shock mode, and you're probably still in Saturday's pajamas, or at least Tuesdays. Was it Mondays or Tuesdays? Check trousers. Pop rocks, not rock candy. Yeah, the pop rock. You remember them, Gabrielle. Thank you so much for that. That's great. So Kat Groves saying good afternoon. Emily Heaven is in the house as well. How are you all doing? Let's say Kirsty, I'm sure she said she was thinking of Kirsty. I was thinking of that popping candy the other day. You were not. Is it a sign, Kirsty? All right. So those of you that are on my Facebook page, please like and follow, right? Because that's how we get to see your comments in here as well. And please share as much as you can because your name is bumped up to the top and it stands out more. So sharing the group, sharing the watch parties, sharing the pages that you're allowed to share on, by the way. And if you're on YouTube right now, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit subscribe and drop me a message anyway, because I love to go back and read over the messages. And John, have you noticed that the messages that are on lives aren't on YouTube? I'm not really sure about whether that here there's something maybe that I'm not doing. Claire has just said she's ready. I'm just going to message her and say that to click on the link I've sent her to join. Click on link. Oh, God. See these nails? Bear with me, guys. Yeah, so Claire's finished her live. I'm struggling with my I've had 2 nails fall off. Can I just say that? It's real. The nail struggle is real, guys. The hair struggle, that was the first to go. And now the nail struggle. And my own fault, because for the first time in ages, I had actual nail extensions put on the other week. Not very intuitive of me, was it? Nail extensions. And now, of course, they're getting too long because my nails have grown like you wouldn't believe. Okay, then. Let's have a look and see. We've got Sharon Stewart is in the house as well. Kate Patterson, thank you for saying, Susan Milsom, Emily Heaven, and Claire is there. Right, Claire, darling, click on the link. I need to add you. Claire, hello. Hello, Claire. Click on link I sent in Messenger, darling. There we go. Hopefully she'll get that. Right, so is my stream doing okay, people? Hi, Lara, says Lisa Quilter. Lisa, it's good to have you in the house. Kate Patterson as well. Anybody with future sure which way to go? Absolutely. We're going to get to doing a few readings just shortly. We're letting everybody get in the house. We've got my gorgeous friend Carol Stewart as well is in the house. Good afternoon, my darling, to you as well. Keep sharing, guys. Keep spreading the love. Keep building the energy in this, because it's a lot to do with that as well, isn't it, when you think about it? I'm now thinking maybe she hasn't got my link. Let's have a wee look here. Has she gone on to the messenger? She hasn't gone on to, I wonder if I should send it in one of her other messenger accounts. Let me see. Copy. Okay, do I go into here? John, help me out. I'm having a little flapping panic here. It was because being on a new computer, I haven't installed everything that I meant to install on it. Let's have a wee look. I can't see her on here. I can copy and paste it here. All right, everybody's. I'll copy and paste it and send it by phone. There we go. That's what I'll do. Oh, no, she has. She has clicked on it. Let's see if she's in the house. Are you there? Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Hello, darling.
Hello. I'm a bit hoarser than I thought I was, so you might have to look after me a little bit. I missed you.
I'll look after you a little bit. You come in here. Big hugs, big hugs. Hello, Richard. How are you? How are you coping?
Well, thank you.
He's really upset that I can talk.
Oh, is he? His equilibrium has been a bit disturbed.
Oh,
Richard, how has it been? Tell me honestly, how's it been? How has it been?
What? Well, they quarantined me to the bedroom, and I thought that I've got a chest infection. And the ironic thing is that I did 8 hours of voiceovers for the pre-record horoscope lines for people that want to listen to them in case I got ill, and it made me ill.
Right, so just goes to show you that if we do things just to prevent ourselves from getting stuff, that's arguably like the single most important thing to say. It's like, don't give eye contact to it. Don't have it in your thoughts, because you literally manifest it in reality.
Exactly. But Lucy had her 13th birthday, and we bought a projector that you put a phone into, and we watched. They were able to watch movies on a big wall in the back garden for her birthday. So I got to watch out the window, and I got to rest, and I just slept. And I think one of the things with whatever illness we get at this time of year is liquid rest, isn't it? Plenty of sleep, and that's what I've been forced to do. I'm nearly there. You know me well. I'm not quite there, but you can't keep me down for long. I've missed it all too much.
You can't. Oh, Stephanie's missed me. Look at that. John's laughing at us. Right, John. Be careful, John, or we're going to get you on this live call. And if pajamas or no pajamas, no matter where you are right now, that's it. We're going to.
I actually have been in my pajamas all week, and I only put on a dress today because I felt better. When you want to feel normal again, but you can't beat a good cardi, can you?
You can't beat a good cardi, a hot water bottle, a fluffy dressing gown. And
Can I ask you a question?
oh yeah, go for it.
Why, when I'm while I'm away, does everyone play? I hear that you're now selling fridges.
Oh, would you like me to wheel it in? Actually, the last one sold, that auction, the one with the kids in.
Oh, well, I've only got 2 kids left, so as long as you've got one to fit 2 in, I'll be all right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 2 kids. We do have, right, the ultimate fridge downstairs. It's got a lock on, one of those walk-in fridges, right? Claire, we've been here for over a year, and even I haven't got the nerve to open that fridge because it looks like it could have bodies in it. They could already be there. I'm kind of like giving it the white eye.
It's a good job Ben and Richard behaved when we were up there, or
Oh.
we were trying to get them in it.
Well, that's just it. I mean, who would notice for a while? I mean, really, who would? We're in lockdown anyway.
How is it up for yours? Tell me about your
Oh
adventures.
God, I don't know whether you can see the day out there. Look, it's absolutely stunning out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you coping with isolation?
Well, you know what? I think it's if it hadn't been for the connecting with, you know, the people on my page, doing the lives, you know, and I'd really just made a decision just to come on at least once a day if I could, try and cheer everybody up, you know, and lift morale. And because like you're saying, you know, it's not just about thoughts that plant things in your system, right? And give, you know, eye contact to. It's, I think if your feelings are also being a bit negative. For example, Claire, when you were doing those voiceover things, there could have been a part in you in a low vibration that was a bit resilient to doing that. Maybe you didn't enjoy, you weren't enjoying doing that anyway.
You knew that I was going timber.
Yeah.
I was denying it because one of the things with being a clairvoyant is people always say to us, don't they, why can't you predict your own future? Why didn't you see that coming? As a person, take away the part of our brain which is psychic, the rest of it that's so full of emotions, what we want gets in the way of what we see. And I had this perfect plan where I was going to get all the work done the first week that the kids were in lockdown, and then it was going to be fun and games. And in actual fact, by doing that, they were having fun in the garden, and I was stuck in bed.
Exactly. Well done, Gail.
For take my own advice.
Yes. Well, it's not, look, on that as well, I realised that in the same spectrum of that is that we don't tend to have attachment to materialistic stuff, right? Yep. Right. You know, the same thing as we don't tend to, listen, Claire, I went for 25 years, didn't have a single cold, right? Because I said I never get colds. Never. Right? It's not a foreign concept. If I started having a little sniffle and a sneeze, right, I don't get cold. It couldn't possibly be a cold, right? And I would just shove it like right to there, and I literally would body slam it. Many people would say we're having 5 children. Of course, I just ran too fast for it. But you get good at running after kids, so you do. So if you can run and sprint after kids, and surely you can outwit the common cold. Anyway, but it is a pretty nasty thing that's going about. On hindsight, now looking back, you know, when I remember that week when we clashed, right, on Derek's page, right, and I had the children, and
because we wanted to be together.
Well, that's just it. It was reaching out already, Claire, saying, Claire, help. I was down in that thing at that point, and you were kicking my ass at that point. Yeah. But there was a point where I couldn't talk at all. Voice totally went. It was a very odd. Ben would joke like, Richard, oh, it's really quiet around here, you know. And
oh, yeah. I've got to ask you a couple of questions as well.
Yeah.
There's 2 questions. Should I give them both to you at once or one at a time?
Oh, shit. Right. Okay.
I'll give them both to you at once because I'm crap at remembering and I'll probably forget the second one.
Hang on. Let me do the leg stretches before.
I'm so hot right now. Okay. So the first question is, can you tell me how, because I had my phone taken off me for much of the day. I was allowed to do my posts in the morning. Tell me about, number one is tell me about Heal the World. Can you tell me how that's going?
Heal the World. That's right. Yes.
And the second one question, in case I forget, is I've come back to work today, not shocked, but very aware of everybody's emotions, all of the followers' emotions. And I'm just wondering for you, as my oracle, you know, how you're finding giving readings in this time, because obviously there must be some advice, because I've been out of action, that you can give today. I know people want readings today, but there must be some advice you can give for everyone across the board, because I just see people dealing with their emotional sensitivity and their unbalance. So I need to catch up with you about how we can bring that balance back, because you and I work so well together, but I'm out the loop a bit.
Well, that's right. Do you know, the frustration of my sons as well, you know, a couple of them in particular, when I would say, they would say, let's talk about the coronavirus. And I'd be like, I don't want to talk about it. Right. And that might seem really ignorant. Right. But if I have a gift, I always tell people I'm the queen of space holding. Right. It's not that I like going into the space, but for some reason, my system knows about a space. Right. Maybe in children's terms these days, it's like having your own tent to go in. When the going gets tough, you go into that space, don't you? And I think for us women that are on here, because the majority, let's face it, John, I think you might be on your own here to do well, you know, on the page as the only male in the village here. Perfect, right?
Oh, and we've got loads of male followers.
We have. I think it's just I've seen John's name go up, and you know, and down here.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah. Oh, there's no show without John Spratt, let me tell you. But so basically, it's that ignorance is bliss, right? And feeling good about that there's certain things, right? I think you probably get it with Richard as well, don't you? Where they're looking down all the news stuff, right? So you're getting Boris's stuff, you're getting Trump's stuff, you're getting Q's stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, you're getting the 10 days of darkness. Q has been quiet for the 10 days, okay? Right, so you know, you get metaphors all the time.
You should tell people about
pictures shown to me by Ben, you know, with people giving certain symbol language and symbols, you know, matching up with them. Yeah.
Can you just explain to anyone who doesn't know a brief summary of explain who Q might be, or who Q is seen as?
Q is seen, well, to be honest, Ben's probably your best person to ask about that, because like I said, ignorance is bliss. Right? Yeah. There is a safety valve in my head that just kind of, when the measurement gets too much, because you and I both are working in a certain energy that if we can access the answers there, right? A lot of what these people are doing no different to us as mediums, as intuitives, accessing a certain type of information. But what they're doing is they're interpreting it in a different way to what we would. All right. In the law, universal law of polarity, everything exists in the same space, good and bad, right? So it depends on the operating manual. And you and I both know, Claire, that if you're a hot point washing machine, there's no point operating you as a Zanussi flaming manual. It's just not going to work, is it?
I'm going to write that one down.
Right.
Yeah, I've got pen.
Well, I had my purple one yesterday. I've got my rose gold one today. So which colour are you working with today, darling?
I'm colourblind, but is it pink or gold? I can't tell.
You've got gold, I think. I've got the rose gold and you've got gold. There we go. So we're similar. I'll flip the purple one that gave me out just shortly. But Q is supposed to be what they call deep state. All right. I was trying to think in deep state. So he worked in a deep state capacity. Q is his handle, if you want to call it. Nobody really knows his name. There was a guy that came out recently saying, oh, I'm Q and all the rest of it. And then he got arrested or disappeared off the face of the earth, right? So there's a lot of people they wannabes, if you want to call it. They want to be this. They want it to be right. But remember, people, the truth is relevant to your belief systems. Okay? The truth and your perception can only go as far as your belief system. That's why you have people like Claire and myself, right? Is because we can read that energy in between and fill in the gap. But for some reason, everybody always links us with talk to dead people or predicting the future in a personal life. But the term clairvoyant is clear seeing in any capacity, not just when it comes to reading for somebody's future. That's just something we play around with, right? Whilst we entertain ourselves for the bigger picture. Because guys, those of you that are watching right now, Claire and I have been aware for about the last, and we only knew this when we got together, but the way that your life went a certain direction in my life is that we were getting trained cosmically, universally for now, right? For the planet. All right, so it's nice to hear about other things. Q, he's, divulging all this information about what's really going on deep state, what's really going on behind the scenes. But if there's a question, there's always an answer, and every answer rises to another question, doesn't it? Right? And then that question will have to have an answer, and then it's which point does it stop? Right? And that's the key to stopping anxiety. That's the key of having that uploading yourself of enough. Enough's enough. You've got to feel content with that's as far as it goes. But unless it affects you in everyday life, why are you bothered about it? Okay? If it's not in your own space, like in here, right, and we shut the door, you know how quiet it can be here anyway. You could say we were arguably training for this for a year, because could I have coped with this before I came here, this silence and this big, I don't know. But I got to say, in one hand, we're very lucky. We're probably in the best position in the UK. Right? I've got to give credit to my intuition for bringing me here and following that trail to begin with, right? And I sit here every day and I think, God, how lucky am I that I'm not just cramped into that one room, that, you know, that I've got many different rooms to grow in. I've got a roof over my head, right? If things were different, you're allowed to socially, like, not isolate. Of course, I would have everybody here, you know that. And I've also got plenty of time to be able to go, you know what? This is our own life. This is our own path. This is our own vortex, isn't it? We've each got our own vortex. And life is reminding us to build that electromagnetic force field in our own vortex. That's how you attract the life in that you want. And as a medium and clairvoyant, we already have that blueprint within us. That's why
we have to project what we want to attract, don't we?
We project ahead of it. So there's no point thinking about the now. Right, we've already forgotten it. 6 months ago we dealt with that. Right, it's already through us. Everything comes as above, so below, as within, so without. Right, that's the way it goes. It has to move, people. Right, and guess what? If it doesn't move, it's stuck. You feel that stuck energy. Your mind goes into overdrive, and will come up with a million zillion different reasons for it, with only one reality that you're able to play out in this life anyway. Right, but then you've got the other question, Claire, haven't you? Oh, are we living in alternate realities? Right, and in actual fact, when we get deja vu, because I think about this, is that we've actually been and done this before. To tell you the truth, everybody, I'm more worried about the whole asteroid theory, right? Because Claire and I both know, and again we've discussed this, that we get so involved with what's going around in everyday life, we forget, we take our eye off the ball energetically about actually there's something else that's further away. Right, that could just end the whole goddamn show. And we've been worried about washing our hands with sanitizer. Let's get this right, okay? We're worried about if somebody breathing us, or whether we could get our order of masks in time, right? Or whether it's even real, or whether it's something that somebody's created, whether it's a biowarfare thing, whether it's, you know, you live long enough, right? Viruses create super viruses eventually, right? The very same theory like with computers. You know, the old Terminator movies when they had Skynet, right? That's developed over years and years of our computer learning and evolving, no different to a virus. So there's always many different shades. You've got to say to yourself, you're fucking lucky it was not the Skynet option in reality that's playing out right now. But that doesn't mean it would.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So the reason why Claire and I look really stupid at times, right, is because generally we've moved past it. Claire does her stars 2 months, 3 months ahead and stuff, right? That's the same as our life, people. We're already 3 and 4 months ahead. We're already at the other side of it, all right? If you want to know how to be and have your reality and destiny created for the other side of it, that's why you come to people like John Spratt, Claire Petulengro, myself, Craig Morris, Barry John, all right? That's how you do it. You reach for the people that know how to do this already. Okay, and people like us, as you know, Claire, life is hard. It trains us, doesn't it? So that we're in this unique position of lots of different realities.
My belief from my own personal experiences is that, of course, we all have scars, but we need to wear our scars as a sign of courage, and to use what we've learned to know what not to do next time. But one thing I've been very aware, like going through everyone's messages, is that how emotionally it's somebody said just now on my live, and I hope you're over here now so we can address this, is how they were feeling so emotional and somebody just found themselves crying. But I think that the emotional process, they've got to get on that bus, because if you don't get on the emotional bus and go through the process, it can come out 20 years later, or it can come out in a way that destroys your relationships. And at this time of pressure, it's make or break for the relationships all over the world. And I think that rather than, you know, looking at that person, it's about looking at ourselves as well and recognizing maybe that person's not wrong for us. Maybe we're just different from who we thought we were. and we were trying to fit into somebody else. So I think lockdown for a lot of my clients and your clients is a time for them to rediscover themselves, because it's very scary.
Mhm.
Rich, if you're watching, can you tell Pat not to call me?
I was
I
like,
think because
10 days of darkness. It's not
the
joking.
things
Is
we want to
it?
do with our life, if they're so different from what we were doing, it's scary. And so
Yeah.
I think our job is to help people realize, if this is so important to you that you want to go out and become a different career person, be with a different
Oh.
and as long as that's okay in their heart, then they've got to carry on with it. It's an opportunity, isn't it, that people have got at the moment?
It is. It's an opportunity. Think about what we said about
Oh, your volume's gone. Hold on. I wonder why I can't hear you.
that. Not hear me. It could have been because some.
You've gone.
Can you hear me?
Got you. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Probably just knocked off because of the phone call and stuff.
Let's just get you back in there. Hold up.
Prepare.
This is why I'm not
Yeah.
I've got such a loud cough at the best of times.
Well, Shabby Stewart loving this live. So interesting, right? So, I mean, this is awakening, isn't it? It's about awakening now. It's wake up, right? Think of the Matrix with the blue pill and the red pill, right? Guys, you're being red pilled right now. Ben asked me this morning, he said, is it possible to emotionally move everybody on the planet and get them to do something in that, almost like emotionally manipulate? Is it? I said, of course it is. People emotionally manipulate every single day. You move people enough, right, and suggest something to them at the same time, right? They're going to jump on it, aren't they? They are.
Absolutely. Yep.
So getting to this awakening part as well. Awakening means to awaken from the systems, right, that have jailed you, that have tied you, that have shackled you to life, where do you ever have a realization that you're just doing the same thing over and over again? It's like on repeat. It's like a program that does the same thing. And then, you wake up at some point, hopefully, don't you? Right? And then go, what am I doing? This is absolute madness. People call what we do madness. But what's mad? Mad in those systems, or mad because you're trying to help people get out of those systems because you actually, for some bizarre reason, woke up at a certain point, got the memo, got the email, and you got up and you were able to do what you could do, that you wanted to serve and help humanity. How is that bad? All right.
Well, that's what I think is really good and really important. Is I put up a post on my page the other day. It was a black and white photograph of some gorgeously dressed women. I think they must have been 1940s. But it was a time when there'd been a pandemic and they were walking around with their sort of homemade face masks on. And my feeling is, for a time for for this to happen, this time now, the things that we have to utilize, that if we don't take the positives from it, then we're fools upon ourselves. This is our chance to reprogram our own lives. And if you're around people who make you feel unable to do that, then the answer is very clear for all of our followers, which is change it up, isn't it?
That's right. Shannon, it makes you value people more now. Absolutely. I started to even go, I don't phone my mother enough, right? My dad, the last, for 2 weeks, he actually phoned me. My dad can go 6 months and not phone me, right?
See?
There has been changes, right? And the thing about the waking up is, this is why you pay attention to the planets. You pay attention to what Claire says when it comes to certain planets are moving, guys, right? You pay attention. It's an ology, astrology, right? The science of the stars, right? And you are 70% dust particles. Why the fucking heck do you think that it doesn't matter, right? We're so busy looking at what everybody else does. But through the way that the planets are moving and the energetic feedback that we're getting, can I tell you, you are already your hardware is being upgraded, right? You are already being upgraded. If by moving, by learning, by evolving, if you feel the urge to get on the internet and research some information that you wouldn't necessarily have done before, that's already your hardware, right? Trying to get software, right?
Don't you think that, as far as your dad's concerned, the very fact that he called you, and he doesn't call you often, says that dad's got on the bus, he's on that emotional journey to finding out that, perhaps that now that his hand is forced, where you're not naturally calling him and the world seems more vulnerable, that actually he, you know, likes that role as a dad. So dad's on the bus. So what we need to do is find everyone else that's not on the bus and get them with their packet of tissue. Why do I do this all the time?
It looks like you've got stuff
Nobody
on
knows about
Madonna.
your tunes, like, nobody, huh?
Is it Madonna? But yeah.
Nobody knows, do they, Lara? Before we go on, before we get ready, when we're in our curlers and our slippers like I still am now, Lara and I like to listen to some tunes, don't we, Lara?
Oh, my dear, we're always so neat. What are you listening to?
Lara's more of a raver than me, aren't you?
Hey, I tell you what, once you get a good beat in a tune, I tell you what, there's no holding me back. We should maybe do a night where we're all dancing to the music and have like an online nightclub so that we can...
Let's do it. But that's the thing, isn't it? Since we've been in lockdown, I've got my books all in a stack that I was going to take on holiday that I can't wait to read. I've been teaching the kids every era of music possible and listening to my tunes as well that I haven't done for a good 3 years.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what, I'll show you what I'm reading right now.
I can't, by the way, see how many followers we've got or see any messages.
Oh, right. We've got 33 people watching. We've got loads. You're supposed to be able to see the messages there. You're not seeing any of them.
I'm going to see what I can say. Chat, if I bring up chat or private chat, live comments. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
If I take that off.
Jay is in the house.
Hold on. I can't.
Mama's been sharing.
Let's try again. Hold on. I can see the chats, but I don't know how to see the screen as well. Hold on.
All right, wait. Oh my, I need upgrading and be moved. I need a new path. Right, there you go, right? Wench, that's fantastic for you. That's I'm very honest. That's kind of like we need upgrading. You know, every few days I ask myself, what should I be learning? What should I be looking at? You know, I pay attention to it. If an intuitive thought comes in, right, I need to go and research that for some reason. Okay, I'm reading this book at the moment, The Audacity to be Queen by Gina DeVito. Yeah. Right, I sent off that. In fact, I ordered this last October, right? And because it came from, it didn't tell me that it had gone through. And I remember a couple of days, was it the day before, I suddenly thought, oh, what about this book I've ordered, right? Because you know how much shame us women feel about feeling that we deserve. Okay, that's what this book's about the feeling, the deserving feeling. So it was really I identified that at certain points, but when people think I should be happy, I don't feel happy. Right. And so I traced it back to the fact that at some point when I was probably at various times in my life that I should have been feeling happy, somebody stamped or rained in my parade. Right. And I was made to feel the opposite. So I got this book to try and shift the whole shame thing. Right. And what are you reading at the moment?
I'm actually reading a book. I think it's called Skin. It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
The wild one about his life story and his journey. And I love autobiographies. I've also got Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends. And I'm sure I've got a steamy book in there somewhere. But also I've got, I'm doing astrology lessons for Honey and Lucy. And so I've got out all my old astrology books from when I was 13, 14. That have got all my writing in when I made notes when I was their age.
Wow.
So that's, and you know, like how when you're studying for things, you make up rhymes for things and you have to remember things. And the way that I remember the order of planets and things, I was trying to teach them, you know, how I remember it. And they just looked at me and went, no, you know, this particular, they've all got their own versions. We're really old fashioned, aren't we, with how you remember things?
Yeah, but do you look like, so Nicola Marmont, as Claire, I've reviewed.
I can't see the comments.
Oh,
or you, but I can't see both.
Ah, right. I wonder if it's a connection thing. So Nicola Marmont, right? You can click on the comments at the side, right, and it comes up right along the screen. So you should be able to see Claire.
I can see Nicola's message,
but
I can't see anybody else's.
Right.
I reviewed my page.
Yeah.
Nicola had a reading on mine just now.
Right. Okay.
She was lovely. You need to watch the post tomorrow, Lara, because you're getting some essential oils tomorrow, along with Gwen Acora as well.
Ooh,
I didn't
and I have been there, like
picked up safely outside the door.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to that now. I'll be doing a live just for the oils. We've got Kim says Saturn is playing up now. We'll do it again in December. I think we will begin 6 months to breathe, and some December is going to hit us with something else. Prepare everybody. Love, lots be you, and be at peace with yourself, and love to all. A great message, Kim. Thank you so much.
I think as far as that's concerned, the really important point that Kim made is this is our resting period to gather our tools, to find our strengths. So say, for instance, that you're somebody who's really suffering from anxiety at the moment, guys, who's not coping very well, but is doing a very brave job of like making your family or your loved ones feel okay. Then go to the person that's supposed to support you and say, look, when I'm having an anxious moment, can I give you a certain word? And can that be our signal word? Because sometimes people just need to stop and breathe. But the main thing as well that's really concerned me is the amount of domestic violence. I'm not going to go into my own personal story before I met Rich, but I will say that I am very much an advocate for domestic violence. And I've had a lot of private messages of people that want help. And I'd like us to look into a way of finding some easy outreaches. On my page, I've posted a number for domestic violence helpline, but the journey on its own is a very difficult one anyway. But I would say to anyone out there that follows us, take it from those that know that if you do want to get out now, before lockdowns go on any longer and before hospitals and the police get any busier. There is no time like the present. That's why they call it a gift. And I think that obviously sometimes in times of a pandemic, the emotional trauma is damaging people more than the disease. Is that fair to say?
Well, absolutely. I need to tell you as well that it could be because you're on a phone. John said that. Kirsten Henderson said that as well. That you're limited. You know, you're not getting the. So maybe do it on your laptop.
Is Rich watching? Can you ask Ben to text Rich and to ask him to bring my laptop down, and I'll put the laptop on.
Okay,
Would that be better? Or do I need to see? Do I need to see the comments? I don't know.
Well, you don't need to. What I'm saying is that you probably got limited streaming thing because you're on the phone, apparently, according to them. So next time we do this, we will do that. Guys, if you're on Facebook, please like and follow my page, like and follow Claire's page, and share. Get the comments going, get the energy back in the house. We're working our way towards doing some readings. So if you hang in there with us, which is fantastic. If you're watching this from YouTube, because we're streaming live on my YouTube channel right now, then hit the subscribe button. And if you've got a YouTube channel,
I don't use it really. I was going to say, do I only get half a page because I'm a gypsy?
I'm not.
Hey.
If I put it to hang on, let's see what happens when we do that one, right? So when we talk,
yeah, I'm sure I've done it before I can see it. I'm not putting red.
You've got that. We've got that. The small.
Oh, the other one was nice. It was bigger.
That one there.
Yeah. Good for my. That's it. Oh no.
You've only got me. Look at that. Yeah. No. Oh, guys, keep sharing, keep spreading the love. Norma sharing like a mofo. We've got Ruth Townsend sharing as well. Rachel Potter shared.
Oh, also, you put Boris in your healing book last night. Thank you so much for that.
I put him in 2 nights ago, but
I know because you texted me.
Again, that was you had to suggest it to me, which is really weird because generally we really shouldn't do these things without permission from the person or connected through somebody that's connected to somebody. We got that connection, didn't we? So
yes,
it was a permission to do that. How's he doing, by the way? How's Boris doing? You're picking up.
I think that with hospitals at the moment, obviously, we can only know what they're treating him for. I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't say. But let's just say that we hope all our prayers are with him. It's great news that he's not on a ventilator, isn't it? And he's got a different form of breathing aid. But there's famous people. There's not famous people. I had to deal. Obviously, you and I had to deal with people that have been through it together. And so it obviously doesn't have a particular face shape or sex or person that it likes. But I do know the one thing that's upset me more than anything is from families I've heard whose sons and daughters of certain ages are going out drinking and gathering with people anyway. And still hearing of that. And I would suggest to the parents who know their children are doing this, and I'd also suggest to people whose partners are doing this, to put your foot down, because it could save 1,000 lives, not just one, couldn't it? I've heard a lot of that, and that bothers me.
It bothers me as well. So we're going to send a message out, right? If you're one of the people, which I wouldn't like to think it's anybody here, because we're on here often enough. They're all, they're.
Well, it's followers' children, but
absolutely. We're just.
We're not
in a fuffing house right, for you all to go, one of you to go and ruin that and ruin the connection, because we're all connected. So when one of you goes out, you are disturbing the connection of everybody in the planet, right? Now that's called responsibility. We've got a responsibility to each other, right? We don't want to be staying in the goddamn house for no reason, right? I never do anything for no reason, not a single thing, even if I'm not aware of it, and neither does anybody. So stay in the house until they tell you it's okay to go out, right? It's just a simple instruction. We don't need to know why even, right? We're just told to stay in. We're kind of, at least we've got, not like 1940s with World War II or World War I, right? At least we've got our houses to stay in and not flaming air raid shelters like it used to be, right?
We're about the same age, aren't we? So
yeah.
when you and I were, what should we say, 14 or 16 or 11, what if this happened when we were young? We would not have had the internet, mobile phones. You'd be fighting your siblings to get on the landline phone.
That's it. Yeah, you get told off by your mother because you're on the phone too long. But the phone line is being cut.
Did you not have one of those mothers who put a lock on the old-fashioned phone so that you couldn't use it? Because my mother had 4 children, and then my brother taught us all to tap the number.
Yeah. I know. Exactly. Christ, we were one of the first families to have a video recorder, you know, like the old-fashioned tapes that went in. Yeah.
Betamax were the first, weren't they?
First, we had the VHF one, the VHS. Exactly. I used to get called that at school. I would get called snob, that I was posh, that I was always too good. That one always would watch silk sheets in her bed, you know, that sort of thing, which I do. But
nice, you don't have seen them. The petal roses. Ben has to line up the petal roses leading to the boudoir at night.
Absolutely. And I find myself here in this awesome place. It wasn't a bad thing to have standards, was it, guys?
No, but I'm telling you, Ben, as well as I know Lara now, that woman probably has some chocolate oranges stashed in places.
We've even worked through the chocolate oranges, Claire. Right? Things are bad. They're bad.
I have 5 Marks and Spencer's cakes that were sort of done by a drive-by this morning, which we've demolished some of.
A drive-by. You see, it's gangster rolls now, so it is. Gangster rolls. I said to Ben yesterday morning, do you think Costa has the drive-through still going? Right? It's like, I said, it would just take one person, right? Because you're already in and they're in cars, and they could put one of those litter clipper things, you know, for the cups to hand it out. I don't see that that's actually a solvable solution, right, to a situation, just because I'm missing my chai lattes, basically. That lovely tea shop that you and I went to. Oh, yes, definitely. That was Brouhaha, it's called, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I've just realised I can't see any comments, and I'm talking like we're just on the phone normally. Do you think we should do some reading?
I think we should, right? And can you see the comments come up on your phone, or do you want to get?
I'm gonna ask Whitney to and just grab a bottle of water quickly.
You can grab a bottle. I'm going to entertain everybody here, guys. Are you liking and sharing? Wench says you girls are my age. Coming 51. I was going to Ben this morning that in 1949, when I was born, right, in that year there was the first man in the moon, right, and I find myself coming into my first year, you know, after the Bible, right, that we're thinking in terms of asteroids, comets, the bright lights, and we've got the coronavirus to deal with. So isn't it funny what happens, you know, when you get to a milestone, guys? Righty-ho, Norma, I'm going to pick a couple of cards here for you, sweetheart. God love her. She's trying really hard to build the energy in the place. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already, and leave a comment on my page. And Claire, although she doesn't bother, please go and look at Claire's YouTube channel. There's Richard. Hello, Richard, there. And follow. Oh, is he coming in? So we just got the hand.
Only the hand.
Over the hand, yeah. We've got follow Claire Petulengro on Facebook and Instagram, and also follow Larawell's Live on Facebook, and I'm Lara Wells TV on Instagram, guys. Okay, so lots of formalities out the way. A couple of cards here for you, Norma. Mine is 2 nails that fell off this morning. Well, one fell off, the other one the other day. We've got the star card, and you feeling better in yourself, I've got to say. This is the Mercury. We've got Mercury just moseying on around cosmically in the background, trying to add a bit of oomph to all the situations, particularly caused by the whole, I was going to say Saturn thing that we've got going on here, and the full moon in Libra, and Mars has been Aquarius this week. We've been feeling a bit space, we've been feeling a bit like a holding space. Remember what I was saying before? What a kerfuffle there. A holding space before. The Queen of Holding Space here of the universe and cosmically, and the planets are providing a holding space for you. Embrace it. Try not to let your minds. Claire, John says, Claire, just click the link. There you go. Yeah, you don't need to. You can click one, come on to that, and then you can just end the thingy. All right. So Norma, good news. Where something that's been bothering you is concerned, right? Honor the holding space. Honor what the planets are doing for us right now. Okay, sweetheart. And I also feel that Mum is round about you. I feel you've been getting a little bit of healing for your leg, your back, and your stomach lately. And I would say that it's starting to pay off. So lots of love, Norma. Hope you got that. Right, who is sharing here? Let's say a big hello to Kim. Gary is, when she says sharing is caring. Would love a card, please. Kim, Gary, a couple of cards for you. Here, frustration. I need to look at the back down, Kim, because I thought, oh, they look a bit ghastly. But frustration and feeling like you're not able to go along, the normal energetic path and the life path that you're on right now. There's a big switch up coming on. There's a lot of revelation where your life's heading right now. And I feel that, not that the past is a lie for you, but I feel that it's about realizing nothing about and it's moving forward, okay? Moving forward, onwards and upwards, but some questions that need to be answered relationship-wise. And the question for you is, do you need to wait around? It's about realizing. All right, sweetheart. No problem, Norma. You're very, very welcome. All right, so J Todd is busy making cakes and big kiddie wings. I'm going to pick a card for you here, Jay. All right, so hang in here. All right, see a couple of cards here for you. All right, Jay, sprinkling your magic. Now, I've actually got I've got a feedback coming up in your computer if I'm doing myself.
You still got it?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of cards here for you.
How's
All
that?
right, Jane. I feel like I've already said that. So here, and what we've got, Jay, right, it's sprinkling your mind. I've got a fabulous recipe for a baked cake and put energy in, and it's good for healing, apart from the fact it's good to eat to begin with. Putting your energy into what you're making. In fact, I even believe that the chef that makes the food and the energy therein, all right, the energy therein, or I'm not sure Tim didn't care. All right, I didn't get that, Tim. Sorry, I didn't message which is it. I'm hearing myself talk back through you. Or I'm not sure Tim didn't care. I'm going to take you back off and put you back on. I'm hearing myself talk back. I'm going to take you back off the stream, Claire, right, and then bring you back on. That's better, thank you. So, Jay, we've got here about the water sign before Scorpio is Cancer, so the end of June, July. Oh, she's away again. End of June, July. Here for you. She'll probably be back any jiff now. It looks like you're being guided to that part of this year when things start to look up for you. Right? We can't hear anything, just muffled noises at this side. Right? Can you hear me now, or have things kind of gone a bit crazy? Claire needs to turn the mobile off and click link via computer, right? She's turned everything off just now, so hopefully she'll be back on any minute. Jay, there's a wonderful opportunity, June, July coming up for you. I feel like I want to just hurry along and get you there. So in the meantime, have fun, all right? Have fun, create in your space. There's a reason why we like to have our own our home space, and the reason why we're encouraged to go into our vortex. Here she is. She's coming back on now. And for you, it's building to something really quite momentous. So, and you're back, Claire.
We lost, somehow the volume went on the phone and I could see you, but I couldn't hear you and I still couldn't see the comments. So in order to have something, we put the laptop on and then without any volume, you were getting feedback from the laptop. But Mercury's fine and it's fixed. But I've got the comments on a laptop and I can see and hear you on my phone. What did I miss?
Well, I don't know. Did you get that? Have you got that comment that showed up at the bottom? Have you got it? No, it's still not there. I wonder if it's a switch in your thing because John can see them when I put them up. I've got strength inside. I'm also here. She wants to know if you're a Romany gypsy as well.
Yes. So I'm a purebred Romany gypsy. And if you study the line of my family, because Romany gypsies were an illiterate race, they didn't go to school, we found our origin through our language. And so when we talk in a Romany gypsy family, and even when travelers talk, it's got the origins to a Sanskrit tribe in India. So the best way that my family and ancestors have traced it is that Romany gypsies, they landed on the coast of Scotland. And of course, they were a wandering race. And then they all filtered down. And the reason that Romany gypsies no longer live together and travel the roads like they did is because during the Second World War, it got very dangerous to be strangers in a town. Trust was something that you had to earn. And because all of my great aunts and uncles did what we do as a living, they settled in seaside towns. And the funny story is that when my grandmother came to look at Brighton as a town to settle in, she popped into a pub on the A27, well, it wasn't the A27 then, I don't think, with my grandfather, and phoned my mother up and said, "You'll never guess who I've just seen. There was Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor having a drink in this bar." So my grandmother got obsessed with Brighton. She thought everyone famous lived here. Well, a lot of famous people do live here, actually, but Brighton is a place. I don't know how many of you guys have been to Brighton. It's such an eclectic town, and I don't think I find it very difficult to live near water, but yeah, it's an interesting place to live.
It is. It was a strange vibe when I went. I'd never been to Brighton before. My brother used to be a painter and decorator in Brighton. Right? It's interesting that you say that the Romanys where they came over to Scotland. So that came out years ago. We were talking about that life thing. Yeah. Right.
So Lara and I, we believe that we've been in at least one, if not two past lives together. And when Lara and I met, I felt this really strong need to apologize to you for abandoning you. And I wanted to hug you and just say to you, "I'm so sorry and I'm back and I won't abandon you." And we've got various theories on it, haven't we?
We have, absolutely, right? Because, you know, past lives, we were asked this question, was it yesterday when I was doing a live about past lives? Or no, when Craig and John were on the other day. Because he said, did I believe in past lives and stuff? And I said, absolutely. Because he said it always twists his head when you're connecting with them in spirit over the other side. Which life are you seeing them in if they've had past lives?
Yeah.
Norma says her mum, Wilhelmina, that came through when you were on the side of the family, came from the Orkney Islands, and my dad, John, came from Northumberland. So that's quite a bit. See, Northumberland used to be part of Scotland, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, my oldest son, Paris, his side of his family has family in the Orkney Islands, and they used to always talk about how beautiful it was. Absolutely beautiful.
It is, I've got to say, definitely. Wow, that's amazing. Some of my husband's family are Romany. That's Nicola Marmont said that. So,
Divas Telesti. Good day to you.
That's amazing, isn't it? And I've got to say, it's a bit like, even as a clairvoyant medium, John, if you're watching this right now, pay attention, is that we're actually all travelers. It doesn't matter if you're called Romany, Gypsy, medium, clairvoyant. We're all travelers, not designed to stay in life permanently in one place, but designed to travel through it.
Did you know that Earth is a planet? The word planet comes from the Greek meaning wanderer, because the planets move and the stars don't. So we ourselves live on a wandering, a planet that's named the Wanderer. Yes, absolutely. Wanderer. Well, that makes a lot of sense. If you're wired to the planets, you're naturally a wanderer, guys, right, and girls out there. Now, sadly, Puja, Lara, I got your message earlier on, Puja. John's definitely there, but he's obviously body swerving the camera because we know John. It's an even. Are you going to bring John on? Bring Spratty on. Well, he never said. He usually. I'll send him the link anyway. Spratty. My voice really hurts, and I want to get better for the 17th.
Right, we're going to try anyway. I'll send him the link. If he wants to join us, he can. He's probably just hoping he just wants to be asked. That's what it is.
Come on, Spratty.
Oh, wait.
Come on, Spratty. Shall I give someone a reading in the meantime?
You go.
I don't know.
Yeah. Can you see the comments
so
here? Can you see the comments? Because that would probably help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not sure which comments are recent and which ones that you've done because I've only just seen them.
Right, okay, then. Well, if I hear you mention a name, I'll let you know. But if you're drawn towards them, just go with it.
Okay, let's have a look. I went to go and scroll my laptop then, just waiting for them to update itself. Just a second.
John, I've sent it to the group chat, our group chat, if you're there, and if you feel that you want to just slide in just for a few.
You know what? She hasn't asked for a reading, but I'm going to pick Isabel Murray Hire from Scotland. So Isabel Murray, I hope you don't mind. If you're on our page, you know that you might get a reading even if you don't want one. So Isabel Murray, I'm going to have a look. For Isabel Murray. I like your name. Isabel Murray, the two cards that I've chosen for you show that mentally at the moment, you are stronger than you know and you have the right attitude. What's pulling you down and pulling you back at the moment is those who are not listening to advice. And again, this seems to relate to a younger person, Isabel. And I think for you, my advice is stop worrying about what other people are doing with their lives. I mean, really stop worrying about it. This card tells me, or these two cards tell me, that if we take away those who are annoying you, you've actually got so much going for you. This card also links to you following your original dreams that you had to give up. Oh my God, it's a rose between two thorns. Hey,
John, let me do it off and I'll bring her back. So her. Yeah,
I look like Bob Marley this morning.
You're looking good. Look, we're sandwiching you between our energy.
That's it. That's what we're trying to heal her, John, aren't we? We're trying to heal her. We're sort of sending it. The rain.
Yeah.
So it's that.
You did also be healing. Thank you.
Like that.
Hey, this could be like our Charlie's Angel shots. Hey.
Right.
Can we do a picture of that? Oh,
God almighty, they're all going to think that
we're not in a bar.
I know.
That's it. John's entered the room. It's gone downhill. There was a serious conversation going on, and it's just hot rock.
Hi, John. Isabel, thank you so much. Can you see them comments, John, and yours?
Yeah, right. What it is I'm on my computer, so I could see the comments at the side. When you're on your phone, it doesn't let you.
But Ash told me it wasn't as good going on your laptop.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine on this one because we're using a different program. We're not using Facebook. So if you go on your computer and click that link that Lara sent you, you'll be able to see the comments.
Come off and go on again. Okay.
I
hope no one's rushing out.
Pooja and Darshika, I'm going to come to you just shortly. I did receive Pooja's message before I came on, and I'm sorry it's been dragged out a bit, but bear with us. Bear with us.
Hello, everybody that's saying hi, Spratty. Hello.
You see them all? Look at that. They're delighted, John. Oh my God! Look, John is in the room.
John is in the room.
No, Spratty. There we are. Yeah.
They want me to download Chrome.
Oh, you're going to upgrade Chrome. Zainab saying loving all the different accents. Right, so I'll just leave them out to you as I'm putting them up, which is great. Nicola Marmont, hi, John Spratt. Listen, guys, if you're on this page right now and you haven't liked or followed John Spratt or Claire Petulengro, please go to their page and do so. All right, and they'll keep the notifications, switch them on, updating for when they're doing live broadcasts.
What do you get when you mix two Scottish people? What do you get when you mix two Scots with a gypsy?
A very weird conversation.
Our show.
I'm waiting for some really like earth-shattering revelation there, Claire.
I'm not there yet. Give me a couple of days.
I'm giving a couple of days. I know. Well, Dawn, we thought you'd be like hair all over the place and stuff, but actually it looks like you scrubbed up pretty damn well.
Like,
I thought
you were doing
well,
are you ready for this, Lara? Lara.
Right, okay, here we go. Oh, My God.
Your jeans.
Yeah, what happened? My God.
He's got jeans on.
He's got jeans on. He's having his Rupert the Bear trousers on and stuff. You know, like his pajamas.
Oh, I thought you were like stand up and we'd see some Speedos or something.
Last week.
Like that's it. That's the one. That is the one. God's sake, Claire, he's going to make sure that we're in our Speedos before long as well. Before you know it, we'll all be there. We did do a live in our defence, didn't we, on Saturday in our dressing gowns and our pajamas. We did.
Nice.
We looked pretty damn awful.
It is PJ Day. If we do a live, we just let it all go, right? No makeup, no, right, pajamas on, because everybody else is. Let's face it.
Mm-hmm. And we looked pretty damn awful.
We did.
Well, I didn't know whether my pajamas were going to be taken to the wash or they were going to walk to the washing machine on their own by the time I felt better.
We're peeling them off you. Like, yeah. Okay, dokie, let's have a look. Like Puja, I need to do a couple of cards of Puja at the moment. She lost her grandmother during the night. Her mum's mum, and her mum passed at Christmas, remember? So I keep seeing the name come up here, so I'm going to have it now. Is there a time, you know, that's great to... What's the soonest you've connected with somebody, John, when they've passed? It's been 4 days.
1 hour. I was talking to my friend one day on the phone, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I need to phone you back. And I hung up and I phoned my other friend and I was like, is your mum all right? And he's like, John, my mum died about an hour ago. I'm like, oh my God, your mum is standing in my living room telling me to phone you because you were right. So an hour, I gave a reading from someone in the spirit world.
That's incredible. That's amazing. And you know, there's so many people out there that have probably woken up in the middle of the night and seen Granny down at the bottom of the bed, you know, and just parent or grandfather, or actually reliving something in their head. It's like they've been talking to them, isn't it? You know, of like, let's do this at Easter, or let's do this at thing, only to wake up and find that they've passed during the night, you know, type thing. And so God, you were so that what an honor. That's an incredible honor, isn't it? You know, when that happens and you're actually awake and not waking up during the night there and able to say to your friend, right, there wasn't anything singular that you could have said to him other than that would have made him feel even remotely better at that point. That's incredible.
Exactly. I think it was just when we went and I was like, is this how she passed? And it was, you know, it was something that I had to say to him. I remember what it is now, it's just come back to me. I phoned him to say, your mum is telling me that there is a bag hanging on your door that has got rubbish in it and it was leaking onto the carpet. And he looked to the kitchen and he had bought a cooked chicken that day and he didn't want it, so he just threw it into a bin bag that he had hanging on the door handle, but it was leaking, the oil was leaking out onto the carpet. So I was like, how weird, Joanne's just died.
Are you still worried about the chicken leaking?
She's worried about the clean carpet.
That's incredible. I would say that's a defining moment, that, isn't it? If you weren't convinced about what you could see before then, you certainly would be at that point.
Well, he wasn't a believer. And at that, he was saying to me, John, you're freaking me out. Are you looking in my windows? And I was like, I am in the house. You know, I'm in the house. I will phone you off my house phone because back in those days, we still used the house phone.
Can I just say, a really interesting question for you is, when I read through a lot of my messages, and I'm sure you guys have the same as well, 2 things come up. One is people sort of say, how do you develop clairvoyance? And the second one is a lot of people are worried because they feel that their clairvoyance is a burden. And there are a lot of people that are developing their clairvoyance, and I'm sure you guys have the same, say that, you know, I'm so upset because I gave a reading and now I'm carrying that energy home with me. I was brought up in a Romany family where if I dared to complain about how emotionally drained I felt, I would get a clip around the ear and be sent to, you know, peel the Brussels sprouts. But how do you both deal with that?
Go to bed with a hot water bottle. It's always the same protocol. I know. I've stayed with you, you know, for numerous days. And when we finished the live or we finished with clients, and I have my private clients,
we carry on doing what we're doing. And I feel a lot of people can't do that. And I just wondered what advice you both give to not feel guilty about switching off when you've heard about a death, but carrying on with your own day. Because I'm not cold. I'm the most not cold-hearted person at all, but I can switch off.
I'm a switcher offer. I've got to admit, once I've did a reading, I don't remember them. That's
exactly, it comes in
more information to hold on to, so I don't keep a hold of it. So once I've did a reading, and I've said, okay, thank you very much, take care, I'll give them a hug, I'll give them a kiss, I then turn to Erin and say, oh my God, let's have an early night tonight, I'm right in the mood.
Yeah.
Maybe not that, but I'll just carry on with my day, whatever it is I'm doing.
So
what's good tea?
What advice would you give to followers who struggle with that? Because I've struggled with advice to give to that question.
It's not easy to shut off, and well, we know that. We tell everybody it all the time. I'm forever doing readings saying to people, my God, you need to just shut off for a little bit, you need to turn your head off. But really it is as simple as you just need to find a focus. So once you've did your developing, if you're learning to connect into spirit, or doing your psychic stuff, as soon as you've done it, have something to do after it that's normal. So if it's going to peel the Brussels sprouts, if it's going to fill the bath for the kids going into it, but as soon as you've done it, you say to yourself, okay, that's me, I am done. Visualize yourself closing a door and saying, that's me, I'm turned off, and then go and peel your tatties and don't think about it again.
Boil them first before you roast them.
Yes, boil them first, folks, because it does make you take.
I'll tell you what, I think it's probably a bit cold, and it literally is in, out, move on, in, out, move on, in, out, move on. It's black and white in that area, right? I think
otherwise you can't do the job.
You can't. No, you can't. We can't see what we need to see. All right, and we can't go on. It's a bit like it's like the same question, Claire. Right? Is how do you ask a prostitute to look after her family during the day and then go out on the streets in the night time? Isn't it? That's basically what you're saying. I mean, holy shit! I'm listening to John. I'm thinking, God, I feel like a right cold bitch, and so is John. Right? He's also a cold git, isn't he? When it comes to that, I'm thinking it's not looking good. I'm going to have to break the moment here because.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't care. People that you get, but like that law of polarity is that somewhere within our system, because we've been designed this way, that listen, I did my nurses training, right? And I would be the absolute perfect. Somebody could bring somebody into A&E, like for me, and that I knew them, and you're not supposed to treat them if you know them. But I did not give a shit, right? I don't care whether I know them or not. It's the same cold, almost psychopathic way, isn't it, John? I mean, let's face it. And everybody has psychopathic tendencies in certain areas, right? This is our psychopathy area, definitely. I've got to say.
I think the other thing as well, you've got to get off your pedestal, haven't you? When you've done as much as you can for a person, all you can do is leave them with a gift of your foresight and then look after your own family, because that person's got to be ready to help themselves or evolve. And if you sometimes you can carry emotional baggage for people where they're not going to do anything about it, and then you're more upset than they are. And so that's why you've got to be cold. So, and don't you find, guys,
if you feel strongly about, the way that person's passed, the person you're reading for, or people, they've already got enough to carry. They don't need to deal with our emotions as well, right? But it also shows you what can be accomplished if you keep bloody emotion out the way. Right? As women, we're often on the back because we're built more emotionally. It's actually quite a feat. I think that's probably why I feel I've accomplished something when I've read for people and I don't get emotionally involved, But simply is that we need to do the job. We need to get in there. We can't see the message, feel the message. Our emotion gets involved with that, right? It understands where it should be and where it shouldn't be. And likewise, afterwards, we just go and peel the Brussels sprouts, like John said. Right.
So do you think we need to have a cup of tea this week, you guys, and talk about doing some courses for the followers about developing clairvoyance and about supporting people in this time of lock-in where they're feeling more and they're experiencing more? And maybe we can do we should do something with that.
And get a membership for these guys going as well, right? So that we've all got different But before we go any further, can I please read these cards for Puja, who's going for a virtual pray at 5 p.m. for her nan that's passed. So, you know, you get all sorts of virtual now, don't you? That's it, Claire, we're on lockdown.
Me and Claire will be quiet.
That's it, yes, we'll be like an excitable child. There we go. And it's weird, because I picked 3 cards here, Puja. I'm we all are so sorry to hear about your nan passing. I do feel that there was a cancer thing here. I feel that a cancer in her body, in an area spread. I've got her chest and her stomach here, but I feel that it's gone all over because I feel like I wanted to say in my head, and I feel like my speech was very confusing and my thoughts were very confusing to me before it actually passed. But I've got to say that she didn't feel ready to go. All right. And even know that perhaps this feels like it's been inside her for a long time. Can I just say that? This woman is made of steel. But I have picked the Easter card here. And believe it or not, we've got Good Friday and Easter Sunday coming up. So I think that it was written in the stars that despite her mammoth efforts to keep on going, you know, in life, that unfortunately something greater than her took her out. But when we were talking earlier on back in the broadcast about awakening, about evolving, about getting her up, you know, getting downgraded for our upgraded physical bodies from the planets, right? That in that process, that some people's upgrade are literally to not be in this reality anymore. So you will see it as cancer, you will see it as the coronavirus, you will see it as pneumonia, you will see it as having lots of different health conditions, but the reality is they've been upgraded, okay, with a VIP pass, one-way ticket, right, to the next reality. And we see them there, we see them all there, right? But they can go backwards and forwards. Anyway, so we've got the strength card here, and I know that you're feeling like literally on your knees with the praying part, but literally on your knees anyway, in that when you're already burst out your central nervous system, that cortex part of stress and stuff like that, because mum is already gone. I've got to say your nan is with your mum, and there's also a grandfather over there as well, and there's a younger male energy that's passed as well, same vibration energy as your mum. This would be an uncle that's passed as well, so we can call them the two amigos. In fact, when you think about it, 2 females and a male, and we're here 2 females and a male. Look at that. So I'm thinking that it must be an overall thing. Puja, go and do your praying, sweetheart. We will catch up again. I will send you a message through my messenger. But lots of love to you and your family at this time. Nan's a lovely woman, by the way, and she's insisting that she wants the purple flowers. Can I just say that? Okay then. Right, I'm back in the room, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Puja says yes, but I don't know what she's saying yes to, but she'll be off for us. Right. Couple of cards for Ruth Townsend, who's been on this call the entire 1 hour 15 minutes, so she's hung in there. Who wants to read for Ruth?
I'll read for Ruth, but I've lost my messages again, so I can't see anything. But who needs a laptop? What do we do before those devices?
Exactly. Piper saying hello.
Anyway.
Hello, Piper.
You're very well.
You know what? Straight away when you mention Ruth Townsend's name, the first thing I get about her is we talk about having problems with our breath. I almost feel that Ruth Townsend's letting a breath out. Ruth, you're very aware that things can go a certain way now, which will actually be to your benefit. Yes, we have legal cards mentioned here, but they're not happening immediately. But Ruth, it's about you preparing for your best interests, and this is definitely around the family circle. And this seems to be about dotting your I's and crossing your T's. But Ruth, I just feel that for the rest of this year, rather than holding your breath, I get exhaling for you, like you're finally able to sort of let your hair down, relax, and you're not doing this yourself. You just can't stop it happening. Why? Because the pressures are easing. And there's not one, but there's 2 people. One is on your outer circle, one is on your inner circle, who are moving away from your life emotionally. And to be fair, they should have done so a long time ago. So it's good. And again, it's a process, Ruth. So allow yourself to go through a process. This is the right path.
Yay! Hang on. I'm just sharing this on both your pages, isn't it?
Can you imagine, guys, what would happen if I was in charge of the operating of this?
I think we would all believe that. He's way more experienced in this than us.
Call me psychic, but this is what I'm going to say if Claire was in charge. This is what we would all be looking at.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That's on a good day. It was going wonky before because I was trying to get the volume going, and I was thinking, what's more important? If you're giving a reading, I'm there going, this is my ceiling. But I had to
Yeah, I love it.
so I can hear or see.
Oh.
Okay, that's a normal day for me.
Oh God, I know. Piper Jane Lishman, sharing lots. Please may I have a
Hi,
cards. I go, hi Piper. Yeah. I shocked her yesterday when I joined one of I went on to one of her lives that she was doing. I just like started messaging her and that, and she she shot herself basically, right? She didn't have perk up when I was on there. It was actually quite funny. But anyway, thank you so much for sharing, Piper. Really
Can I
appreciate.
just tell a funny story now?
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know Piper and Yvonne as well as we'd like to, but we've got to know them very well through our Facebook page. And I was when I was allowed the phone the other day, I grabbed it and I could see Piper was sitting, I think, on a washing machine making a roll-up cigarette. And I thought, I love her honesty. And she was giving this amazing talk. And then I heard Yvonne from the kitchen shout, didn't know she was on live, and the F word came out. And she was like, this effing food or something. And I was like, I'm more engaged than ever. I love you.
So funny, yeah. I know.
I don't know to this day if Yvonne knows we could all hear her.
Well,
jump on her live.
no.
Why don't we do joint jumping on lives on our followers' lives once a week together?
That's right. And then they don't know when we're going to show up.
Rich men can do it. We can do it.
Exactly. Somebody just said on here they think it's because John's and mine's Sarah Crichton, that's it. Scottish humour. We love it. We laugh at the simplest of things, don't we, John? It's swinging gate syndrome, isn't it? You know, what's that part going? We've already seen the joke and we're already laughing before anybody said it.
Scottish people are the only people that can make an insult into a compliment.
We can.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but it doesn't mean we've got the insult. Does it, John? It doesn't mean we've
Are you going on Gwen's on Derek's page later?
I think you're on Derek's page later, aren't you?
As long as my voice holds up, that's why I'm trying not to talk too much in case I ruin it. It's the first day I've been talking actually.
Oh my God! Well, listen.
Richard's up there with
Try not to talk too much. I've been here for an hour and 17 minutes talking.
She's on a roll, right? So you may have to ask Gwen if it's okay to maybe do it through StreamYard and then give yourself the option of somebody to pop on in case your voice starts to go.
Can't we three go on tonight then?
Look at her rallying the troops already. Look at.
In case my voice gives that. In case my voice goes.
The only thing is, I am doing online meditation at 8 o'clock, so I'll be busy between 8 and about 9:15.
Okay. We could go on before, couldn't we? Maybe.
Well,
I'll be in Dingle with the Pixies at 9:30.
You kind of need to go in the way rather than out the way. Don't you, John? You kind of need to go in the way rather than out the way. If you do too much, you're going to be able to make the switch between doing a live and doing meditation.
Yeah, that should be fine. I'm only guiding the meditation.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Okay then. So, what time are you going on Gwen's later on?
Me?
Yeah, on Derek's page. Yeah.
I don't know because I haven't talked to Gwen and Ash yet and seen what time everyone else is on. What time is everyone else on?
Yeah, because Craig was going to do it. And it was
I'm not
6 o'clock. Craig was going to do. Now he's doing 4:30 tomorrow, right? So I'm thinking it's like 5 o'clock. It's getting. We're Scottish, right? So we really do. It's the tea time, isn't it? Between 5 and 7, really, John.
Yeah.
In Scotland, and if it's not tea time, it's getting kids ready for bedtime. You know, it's. Yeah. And then it's the fall over the finish line at 7:30, right? If you're lucky, you might see a bit of EastEnders in that, around about that point. And then
Is EastEnders still, I don't watch EastEnders. Is it still on?
I think so. I haven't watched it for ages. Ben won't let.
What are they going to do when they run out of episodes?
Yeah, well, no, they'll never run out of episodes, right? They'll never. So probably, if you're at 8, it makes sense maybe to go on, say, about 7 o'clock, doesn't it? 7:15. When's the kids in bed, John?
My kids go to bed between half past 7 and 8 o'clock. my kids go to bed.
I tell you what, why don't we do 9:30 in Derek's tonight? Let's give them a later one, shall we?
Good.
All three of us tonight. Derek's 9:30, yeah?
Give them a later one because I've been on earlier. I think anybody that's been on has been on earlier. Barry was on earlier on, and it was earlier as well. So let's give them a later one. We haven't had that for a few days, so
Yeah, let's get them when they're
I'm
drunk.
going to go and rest my
Yes!
voice and download
Damn
on
it.
my laptop while I do this.
But first of all, make sure it's okay with Gwen, obviously, because I don't know whether going through maybe do you want to do it through? Well, we can maybe do it through John's system, and he'll send the links to us or whatever. It doesn't have to be mine, right? But basically, how do we do something like this? Derek's page, link to the page.
Just put the live to go to. You know how you set it up to go to your Facebook pages. Just add Derek's page into there.
Right, okay, I'll see how many I've got. You're only allowed 5 on the professional thing, aren't we? And listen, everybody's listening is discussing. This is
I know, I was just going to say.
a bit round about that. A couple of cards for Piper before we shoot off because it's 5 o'clock, it's tea time, guys, right? And we're Scottish. So we
Get my belly.
live and die by that sword, right? There's no tea by 5 o'clock. There's something far wrong. Definitely. Right, okay. So here, right, Piper is, I don't know how your back's been feeling, Piper, and stuff, but it looks like you could still be, even though you're a tall girl anyway, it looks like you're still doing a bit of growing here and what have you. So you really are cutting off all the debris. You're cutting off all the parts in your life that aren't going to mean anything to you going further on. There's a gentleman in spirit, some grandfather figure over the other side there as well, and there's also a woman who is of similar age with him, so it's like your great grandfather, great grandmother, that sort of thing. But I feel that I want to say dad to him. He very much had that dad role, in your family. I feel like he's got a cap, he's tipping his cap, very mannerly guy. He's very gracious to me, and he's waited very patiently as well in order to do this too. So, I mean, credit where credit's due. He's not bolshy in that way at all. I feel like I'm looking at what look humbugs. They look like humbugs, right? Humbugs can't stand them because you crunch them and then they're all chewy inside, and then you get that exactly. It's not great, but I believe in the north of Scotland. Actually more of a thing, up there, right? We didn't get the memo down there. We decided that, further south from Oban, right, and Inverness, we don't tend to like stuff like that. It's a bit like the ultimate paradox, isn't it? You're kidded into thinking it's crunchy, and then it gets you with that chewy inside. This guy is laughing at me, so I think he had a sweet tooth, and that's the kind of sweets that he would go for. He's sending his love, Piper, and saying to keep up the good work. So I hope you got that. Lots of love. Right, Kim Gary missed out on a reading because of interference. Right, did I read for you earlier on, Kim? I think on this part here, I didn't know, or did you read for Kim, Claire? Can you remember?
No, I don't remember reading for Kim.
Yeah, I'm not really sure actually because.
Did Kim want to read it?
Well, I think I read for her, but she said that when we had the interference problem at that point, but unfortunately, like you probably heard us explaining, and I think Claire and John will back me up in this, is once we actually leave that reading, we can't actually remember it to go back into. It's not in our hardware, right? So,
It is in a gypsy blonde gypsy way.
And I'm just being a redhead that forgets stuff.
I'm just, I'm going bald, Maury.
Right.
And my hair's going to get cut off at the weekend.
I know. But listen, guys, we have been on for an awful long time. Right, we're awaiting put tea on, right, just so that we can get things going, ask the necessary permissions, and go live on Derek Akora's page at 12:30.
I'm just download Chrome so I can see the comments and be the ultimate professional and not let you guys down.
We've got homework to do. And love to you all for joining us here. Thank you, John, for making us laugh, coming back in here. And you've had a rest from doing the reading. Note that, John. You've had a rest.
I never did any.
I know. Do you feel neglected? Do you feel that we've left you out in any way? Or not? That's great.
Yeah.
I wonder
Away.
if we've got the same packet of sweets in the house anywhere. If lockdown wasn't on, pass them to each other across the screen.
This is my set of cards, right? This is all I have. All I have. Look at that. Yeah.
I would take all mine out because I have over 100 different kinds.
We won't see
We'll have
it.
Claire Petulengro tarot cards soon, you guys.
Yeah.
I do need Claire tarot cards though, because we have seen some of the pictures from them because you put them in a chat, and I was like, oh, I need these in my life.
Oh,
You guys are helping me choose the font, aren't you? That's going to go on the cards. I had a choice of font.
that's right.
And yeah.
I
So
need these in my life.
The eyesight's dreadful, but I was like, you know, actually, no, you were on the same choices, so that's good. So I'm
good.
going to go rest my voice.
I totally bought into his addiction with cat tarot. Exactly. Right. Yeah. I can't.
I need them.
John, position, please.
That's more like a lightsaber. John, you're in the wrong direction totally. But
I'm going to make sure my voice is good so I can give lots of readings tonight.
right, okay, you do that, and we'll see you back on Derek's page later on, everybody. Mwah. Thank you so much. Enjoy tea. Bye-bye.